No, it only goes that far. Oh, anyways, I should have been playing some cool music for that, but well, here we are, 2022, and I'm back. This is I don't want to say your boy, but because everybody says your boy, but this is Kralos, the CF of this channel. So, is that the man himself? Absolutely. No, you took it off? Wait, what? Yeah, of course I took it off. I'm not gonna live with this. Anyways, this is Kralos, like I was saying. Introductions. Um, it's 2022. Should have played some cool music as I zoomed out, this like cosmic zoom or whatever. Um, and as promised, 2021 two talk about my recent con experience. So, what you see before you is my haul. Of course, wristband. Also, Captain Kidd, did you take yours off? You haven't. I mean, you haven't taken yours off. That worries me. Um, I don't know how I should go about this. Part of me wants to do like talk about like what I bought here, what's on the table, as it were. Another part of me just wants to do stories and then get to this, but I think because this is right here, we should probably get to that. Actually, speaking of which, Captain Kidd, I haven't. You sick, disgusting man. Speaking of which, Captain Kidd, that's you. The most cursed image of all. Um, so, what have we got here? So, wristband. Quite a story with this thing, because man, I don't think Sacanime 2022 was prepared for what happened with the best girl, Tsunumaki Watame. Yep. She's pretty cool. Actually, have you seen her new original song, Tav? I haven't had a chance yet, but I saw that she posted it on the Reddit. So, anyways, put it aside here. So, what do we got? Okay, let me adjust the light here. So, what do we got here? So, this is the haul. Um, I guess I'll just go. I sort of want to go by um, by layer, start from the top and make my way to the bottom. But it's not how. Yes, sir. You know I'm on that pack. She got you down, man. That sheep girl got you down bad. Anyways, so I feel like I'm gonna go in order of day. So I think I bought something almost once every day, except that on the second day I didn't get anything for myself. I like to think. So actually no, this is from day two, and that so is that. So I'm gonna go by days. So because this story is interesting. All right, so day one, I got myself all this art and this sticker. It's a Hololive sticker, Kiara, of course. Actually, let me adjust my. It looks pretty good. All right. Okay, so I told myself this year I was going to try to hunt down more art because I think one thing that I've sort of, and this is of course talked about Sacanime 2022 winter edition. I've never been to a winter Sacanime, so this was interesting to go see what it's like for cosplayers to show up uh, in cosplays that have a lot of skin in the winter because man, like in the summer, of course, game on, but in the winter, just like man, you really are you're really dedicated to your craft. I appreciate that, and we gotta support the troops. Winter in California, yes, Saber. Um, it does get winter here. Actually, we're here's the thing, Saber. Most people seem to think California is just Los Angeles or San Francisco, and they're half right. Um, but the reality is, where I'm from, actually, Saber, you were here for Sacanime 2018 in the summer. So, but believe it or not, in our neck of the woods, if we drive up about an hour to the north, towards the border of Nevada, we get Lake Tahoe and we get snow there. In fact, it's a dry cold, yes. In fact, not only do we get like snow, but also like in especially in our neck of the woods, which you are somewhat familiar with now. We get a lot of people who are into that like winter sports because we have this proximity to like the snow. But you go even like farther north to like Reading or even the part of this state that wants to turn into Jefferson, uh, you do get more like cold winter snow stuff. So the part that slowly starts to become Oregon. So I was gonna say Portland. Oh, and there's the boy himself, Tarumo. The happy chaos in the winter. How long until he freezes to death? Not long, actually. It was maybe about 50 degrees, Tarumo. So, and yes, as Madness comment says, somewhere in Nevada. So, all right. So, here are my prints. My so first off, I last year I got this really cool. I always like finding these artists who have like very I don't know like kind of soft styles or I don't know these kind of I'm a big sucker for anything done in watercolor and very simplified and like I don't know what it is but this style of art gets me. I always find these artists on Instagram and I love it each time. I always follow them. These kind of watercolor artists that have like all this kind of soft feel to them, you know. But anyways, this artist Yinia, she was selling these prints, and this is actually very good print because she has these kind of more like high quality and kind of lower quality prints, and the high quality are like museum grade, and it's actually signed. Not only like, of course, her signature right here in the corner, but also like her actual real like personally signed because it's like an actual print. So she's got an art book coming. I'm gonna look into that. But I feel bad because like I saw her day one and I thought that was really cool. I should probably go back and find more and like buy more of her art because I really liked it. Um, God, there was this one. It's really good. It's all done in watercolor and stuff, and like it's. I had a nice conversation about like the point of this, about like the inspiration behind this piece and the material she uses. She uses like gouache, watercolor, ink, etc., etc. Stuff that I like to use, and like this is the stuff that I guess again this is the kind of stuff I enjoy. Um, but we were um, she was talking about how like this is kind of inspired by like her I guess move to this area and how like there's not a lot of rain. We get like thunderstorms but not a lot of rain in this area, and she kind of misses that from where she's from. So it's I like the kind of personal elements in the piece, and I just thought like I like how monochromatic this is and how she uses like a light bit of like purple around here. So again, it's such a great piece of art. I can't wait to frame this. It's been in the original plastic because I'm afraid to take it out because it's so nice. So yeah, man. My regret is not going back and buying more prints from her because they rule. So yeah, that's first thing, and the second one, I think you know where this is I think you can kind of saw, but I like to hunt for. Look, the whole Bowsette and everything that came out from that, it's got me down bad. All right, I still simp for the whole Bowsette like Super Crown transformation meme. So that's a good way to like just get me in on like, oh, your cosplaying is this. Automatically, if I spot you like from 100 meters away, I'm coming in fast to get like to get a shot of that, which I did over the weekend, which I'll talk about after I'm done with this. So hunting down for some like prints or artwork that's related to that meme. Uh, yields a lot of not safe for work artwork, which of course my wife is not a huge fan. She's Bowser, Zam. She's she's Boo, Zam. Yeah. I agree. Mario be like, she's Bowser, Zam. Anyways, so I'm trying to hunt down for some safe for home. So there's like not so there's not safe for work, not safe for life, but we want not safe for home, as in you live with, you share a house with other people, and they may not appreciate your taste in art and how, it's the whole office meme of like it's called hentai and it's art, I have to find stuff because I already have some artwork in the house that is already crossing the line for my wife. Tab gets to see these prints every time he comes over and does a stream with me, and he's not bothered by it. He likes my thick vampire girl, and some of the boys that who have I've shown these pictures to on Discord are understanding. But again, this is why it lives in my room and nowhere else in the house. Damn, all these ets and you, all these ets got you down bad. Like an et win, we'll see. But anyways, without further ado, from artist May Shall Win, we got this Chomp Et poster, which Tav almost talked me out of buying, by the way. It says, I won? Oh ho! So, yeah, here you go. To get a, to get a little crude here, I could say that she, like, some would say that she would be what people back then would call a butterface. I disagree. I think she's got it going on. So, I think it's my favorite version of like a, look, I'll be honest with you, I like Bowsette. I think she's great. Booette or Boozette's pretty cool. Chompette, when I saw that, I'm like, that's it. They found the perfect version. Why no King Bombette? Good question. Oh, because Bombette doesn't work anymore, kid. Or Thwompette. Thwompette, I think I've seen. King Bombette, I think it's because Bombette is a thing. The little pink Bombs from Mario 64. So, but I would like to see King Bombette. I might be moved to draw those two. But anyways, I like the idea of like, yeah, it's Chompette, but like, what if the head didn't change? What if she got the body and everything else, but like not the head? What if the head stayed the same? And honestly, I'm all here for it. I like how cute she is. I like that there's like, she's got that lipstick. She's happy that she won. I think, if I remember correctly, you can play as Chomp in Party or Mario Kart, right? No. He can't be in Mario because it's that stupid Duke Nukem meme where like why isn't Chomp, like why isn't Chomp a driver? You can play as him in like Mario Party or whatever, right? Someone in the chat tell me if I'm wrong here. Uh like can you play as Chomp in Mario Kart or Mario Party? Either way, this is a reference to that clearly. So, but yeah, it's this rules, and actually it's like printed on like very sturdy paper. Like I'm really shocked at like the price tag for like because it wasn't that expensive. Neither. I'll get you. I'll get you. But anyways, that sucks. I just think it's neat. Yes. But this is like printed on really sturdy paper, and like the price tag for it was like the most reasonable charging I've ever heard of for like a print. It's like crazy to think um how like affordable this was, but like it's great. I like it. I like the paint, like the painterly style for it. It's great. It really gets my bogos minted here. Why am I not playable? Why am I not playable in Mario Kart? So then number two, YouTube won't flag me for this. they might flag me for this. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna find something that is more safe for like that's safe for home," and I went from this to this, which have um, at the con was like, because I was like, we were literally at this like vendors at an artist alley looking at these booths, right? And I was like, Tav, oh man, I really like this one, but also I like that Ivy. What do you think, Tav? Should I get this or this? Should I get this or this? And he's just like, no man, get that. No man, get that Ivy. It looks really good. I'm like, oh okay. Then I saw the price. I'm like, what? That's not bad at all. I'm getting both of these. So, print number 2 or 3 rather is this very nice Ivy one. Same artist, Michelle Win. Um, and just again, just really cool. I like how it looks like watercolor. Like if this one looks more like I guess like acrylic or even like oil paint, like the way it's done with the edges. I like that this one's more like watercolor based and looking. So I like the pencil lines here. I like all the shading. And you know what? I like that it's also. I think this is. I like that this is like a reference to Soul, like early Ivy. This is like she looks like Ivy from like Soul Calibur, like the first one, as opposed to her later incarnations. Because also, um, this is an Ivy from an earlier incarnation in the game because um, her like her yabos aren't like don't take up half of her torso. So, yes, I'm famous for my art consultation. Yeah, well, guess what? You were half right because I did buy this one, but like I said, I think I told I was telling Tav how like yeah, hey, like I'm really surprised at like this rules, and after I've like had some time to sit with it and like look at this, like this looks just like, or not even when I was sitting with it, but I think like I told when I was looking at it, I told Tav like this looks like the art from like the original game, like from the original Soul Calibur. Like it's based off of that, I think. I forgot that I should have asked the artist, I think, but you live and learn, which I will be talking a lot about, like mistakes and things that I could do next time I go to this thing. If there is gonna be a next time or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, this both of these rock. I like this. I like how it's a throwback to a more re- to to a more reasonable design for Ivy. Not that I knock her later outfits, but I for sure I think Soul Calibur 3 and 4. I think 3 really pushed it, but whatever. But yeah, this is great. And then from I think Incubi from their booth, Kiara sticker. So I got my wife a Guro one because I was telling Tav how disappointed I was that there wasn't any more Hololive cosplayers, but there was like a bit of Hololive like fan art and merch around the convention. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna stick this on yet. Um, Sex Tempu, I'm surprised that if you were in the stream tonight, you would have. I'm sure he would be flipping. It would be doing backflips in the chat right now, but whatever. So yeah, I'm surprised that there wasn't more. I mean, there'll be probably more as it goes on. I'm sure VTubers will catch on in our local um, anime community as time goes on. But anyways, I'll get to that later. So that's from day one. And then day two, very slim pickings here, unfortunately. Um, I got these things. First thing, of course, are my Instax, which I took after I was done doing some shooting. And actually, relating to one of these very badly taken pictures, is this like EP that this like band walking around that was in cosplay handed over to me. So um, I have, I'll be honest, I haven't listened to it yet. Not because I'm avoiding that. Oh, it's gonna be like bad or whatever. I just haven't had a chance. I'll probably pop it into my computer later to give it a good listen to. So I can't review this right now, but I definitely will. I like all the titles for it, like Seth Rogen's Laugh, Hand in Hand, Bummer, Ibex, Outtake, Reconcile. So band's called Coralina. Yeah, Coralina band, and then of course they've got an IG. I'll look them up. But so well, so I guess we go on to my insects photos. So I'm gonna zoom in so I don't move. All right. So first off, I guess technically this is actually in reverse order. So first off, this awful picture, which you can only see some eyeballs. There were these cosplayers running around as like those Meep Muppets from the Muppet Show. That was very fun. I thought like, oh, perfect. And then I realized that on my Instax camera, which has like a function to open the iris more to let more light to be exposed on the film, I had it set to the normal setting, and here's I should have opened it a bit more. But also I realized like the angle on this camera is pretty wide. I probably could have come in, I probably could have framed it a little closer and gotten a better like photo. But as it stands, it was a waste. Anthony Fantano? No, my head isn't shaved anymore, Tab. So unfortunately, I won't do the whole Anthony Fantano parody video. So because when I'm not shaving my head anymore, there's too many friggin' bald guys on YouTube giving up their expertise. So I prefer to go the opposite route, have a mustache, and let my balding, my thinning hairline grow out. So, anyways, next photo. This couple who were walking around that day is Spike and Faye Valentine. That's them. Again, I wish I could take a better photo. Unfortunately, I didn't. So, uh, but I don't know. I think it's also kind of the charm of like insects photos. I've seen some people take pretty good ones. But also, okay, as dark as this photo makes it look, it's actually like the inside of like the vendor hall was very well lit. It's just that it's not light enough for the exposure on this camera is the problem. It might have even looked better if I did the thing where I where I what do you call it? Where I like hold the shutter open, set it to like bulb, and hold the shutter open for a few seconds to kind of let more light in. But the only thing is that like I have to have it on a tripod, and I have to or hold it the stillest possible, you know. So next up, there was this cool dude walking around as Mankind. He rules. I love Mick Foley. Mankind was one of my guys when I was in high school. So good to see a dude represent. Also noticed that he was wearing his mask in underneath his Mankind mask. So extra trooper, and also like that he was wearing a pixel tie. So he's still kind of a gamer. Like that a lot. Actually, I should also bring up the fact that everybody who was in cosplay was also like masked up, and I think never took their mask off, which is good because I'll talk about the whole con experience in a second here. Gyro Zeppeli, wish I took a better angle of this. Should have taken it more from the side, but this photo unfortunately does not do this cosplayer justice. She was really cool as Gyro. Like a lot of like that costume was great. So again, this Instax camera failed me. Another Faye Valentine. Again. There we go. Focus. All right. Again, getting a little better. We're also realizing my framing is very bad here because look at all this like extra room at the top. Again, I need to get better. Again, I hadn't shot with my Instax in a while, so I was very off. Actually, in the next one, this one, the next one, which Tav grilled me for after he saw the video, or saw the pictures. Meanwhile, Colorado got rid of mask mandate, so cons out here might be back to normal. It might be back to normal, but again, Saber, I mean, even if people, because the mandates over here were we gotta have social distancing. It's not gonna happen with like a friggin' convention where everybody's walking in and like, especially if there's no like capacity where like you have to. It's got to be policed. Otherwise, nobody would go into the convention. It'd just be all these people. It'd be more people hanging outside than there already was. Two, I think like you definitely have to have at least proof of your have your like fully vaccinated, or at the very least show up with documentation of a recent negative uh, test. So I'll get you. So I mean, but here's the thing. I was gonna say even with the masks on, I feel like honestly going to a convention with a mask on should now be like the new normal because if there's one thing I'll always remember about going to a con is the fact that uh, at like somebody always like there's always somebody who goes home with con plague or brings it. So I think showing up with a mask on I think is a smart move now. Even like without even without the current era, our current pandemic era, I think just so you avoid getting con plague, I think is a smart thing. So, um, back to what I was saying. So this one and the next one show off my failure in framing correctly. And then also Tav grilled me on this because of the cosplayer, but I argued with him is look man, she, look there's nothing wrong with taking photos of cosplayers like this, especially if they say okay. So next one is this Harley Quinn cosplayer, or is I'm gonna apologize to the cosplayer if she ever finds this stream. I'm gonna apologize and say I'm sorry for what Tav called her Booba Harley Quinn, because again she got the booba. So all right, but I thought she was cool. So I just I asked if I could take a picture. So she said yes. Obviously, she was very cool about it, and um, yeah, I wish these two were taken better. I wish I framed it better. So um, and then here in comes the. You made me sound like I'm the bad guy. What the fuck? You were the bad guy. You were mad at me. You sound like you were upset that I would even take a picture of a cosplayer who was um uh like who had booba. Okay, it sounded like you were anti booba cosplays. Okay, that's it. I'm heading over. I'll wait for you. You know where I live. It'll be like a 20-minute walk, 10-minute walk from your house. So, moving on. Here's the cosplayer who was part of that band who gave me that free EP here. This dude was walking around in a full guitar with dressed up as Angus Young from ACDC. It was a great cosplay. The dude could play guitar because again he's part of a band, and I did not do him justice. He had the SG, and he just wasn't walking around with his like actual guitar. He had like a little mini portable like speaker that he had like clipped to his belt, so he was able to like shred while he was walking around the convention. Um, I know Tav has some choice words about like people who show up and like play like just blast music while they walk around the convention. Um, I sort of don't care. I know some people find it annoying, but again, I wish I could do this. This guy, I can't think supersedes it by just playing his own music or making cool guitar licks. So, yep, he's cool. I wish I could do him better justice. Another JoJo cosplayer. There were quite a bit actually. This time it's Jolene from the new Stone Ocean. I like Stone Ocean. I haven't seen the new Netflix adaptation. She was very cool. She did that cool pose, so she's 100 in my book. She's very cool. I did a better job of that one because you can see where the Flash is. Why am I always the bad guy? Oh, well, you know, just because you're a bad guy, Tab, doesn't mean you're a bad guy. You know, so. Also, what did Wreck-It Ralph teach you? It's okay to be the bad guy. Billie Eilish even says it's okay to be a bad guy. There's a new DreamWorks movie called The Bad Guys. So you're being represented here. I don't mind him plugging his music. I think a con is a good way to get to know. There you go. Get known. Okay, you know what, Tav? Why don't you just type in the chat why, like, because you're in. I'm in the minority. You do not like people who blast their obnoxious music in the at conventions, which is fair. Um, but I also just I don't mind it. If somebody was playing blasting music, I wouldn't mind it. If somebody wasn't blasting music, I wouldn't mind it. So I'm okay either way. But I know for you it's a problem because it's just like we're all just trying to like enjoy the sounds of the convention, you know. So, anyways, you can see that I framed this one better. She's actually in the middle of the picture, and you can see what the reflection of the flash is around her. That's pretty good. This cosplayer, I swear to God, why would I listen to Dr. Brule or a teenager who dresses like a 44-year-old quarterback? Okay, fine. All right. So Brian Battler cosplay. Next one is this Lapis Lazuli cosplay. Kind of one of the more like very ornate um, outfits. She's got like kind of a more belly dancer look based off of her later design from Steven Universe. Come on, focus. It's very cool. This was taken outside at night, as you can see, like the lights from the nearby theater and like other restaurant areas. Her cool cloak thing, what is supposed to be her water wings, is like this really cool transparent like mesh that had lights in it. Again, I wish I could do it justice, but I'm glad it kind of showed up better. So this is very good. And then last but not least, actually, I'm gonna check a thing very quickly here because I did take a bunch of insects from 2018. So here's a comparison, real quick, of 2018's once this, aka the Saber edition. So here's it. Also, I saw another guy dressed up as the Amazing Bagman. Okay, see, these are much better. Look at this. That's Cruella, Slave Leia Cruella, Skeletor, Lady Skeletor, Tav. Look at the difference, boys, or people. What 4 years can do to a man. Let's see. Pop of Girls and Ace. Let's see. Lum. I think this is like the first picture I took from that weekend. Was this Lum cosplayer, which makes sense. This really good Daffy Duck, or sorry, not Daffy, Donald Duck, like dress cosplay. It's amazing. I wish I took a better picture than my insects. Old Greg from Mighty Boosh. Come on, there you go. Peridot. There you go. One thing I did not see this year, again, what 4 years can do to a person is seeing a lot of Adventure Zone cosplays. Taco, Moana. I saw some Encanto cosplays, so that was cool to see. Oh! More Steven Universe. I'm trying to see. Very, very poorly photographed Jotaro. Goku Black versus Dio. Poorly photographed. Rohan Kishibe. Probably one of the best ones I've taken. It's a good one. Garnet. Pearl. And then the last one, I forgot what that was. No, I think I didn't take a picture of that cosplayer before. I thought I did. Anyways, I'm not a big fan of people playing their music out loud in public, but especially in a con floor because it's already loud as hell in there. Especially if you're cosplaying just like a MC from an anime and need to play the opening continuously. Oh, that sucks. Okay, and last one, Tav with his merch. So The picture of me is extremely last known photos. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to find my son. This is his last known photo. Look at him. He's out there missing, kidnapped by God knows who. He needs to come home and sleep with his waifu pillow. My poor son. Okay, and so that's day 2. Now, day 3. I got one thing from day 3. Well, two things. This and a Gura keychain that I got for my wife. Actually, I got one thing for my wife on day. I got her a sticker, and this like cute little like cat coffee plushie. But this is honestly one of the main reasons I wanted to go to Sacanime this year. And that is Bill Farmer and James Marsden. Sorry, not James. Jason Marsden, who happens to be friends of James Marsden, apparently. Not related. Jason Marsden, Bill Farmer were both there today. They actually did a panel about the Goofy movie, or a Goofy movie and its legacy. And I decided, wouldn't it be cool if I went, grabbed my VHS tape, and asked both of them, I wish my wife was real. Please, Watame, come out of the computer screen. Please, Watame, come out of the computer screen. Anyways, back to this. I asked them to sign this, and I got my wish. Did it cost a little bit? Yeah. Was it worth it? 100%. No, I do not regret getting this signed. Because it was either this or the amount I paid for their signatures was going to go to some Kotobukiya figure of Leatherface. So hot Leatherface, and this is the better choice. I traded anime hard waifu for two incredible voice actors signing a VHS tape of a movie that has forever been imprinted from me from childhood. I adore this movie. It's great. I'm glad that Bill and Jason got to sign it. In retrospect, this is where I go into story time because it's the end of the hall portion here, and now it's going into the part where I talk about stories. In retrospect, I realized I spoke to Jason for a longer time because unfortunately I kind of know Jason's voice more from my childhood and from movies and stuff. Like he's in my wife's favorite Halloween movie, Hocus Pocus. He's the voice of Binks the cat. I talked to him about The Weekenders. I told him I lamented with them bro, where's The Weekenders? I don't know, man. They haven't put it on Disney Plus. It hasn't been released on DVD. It sucks. They need to know that Weekenders has its fan base and are waiting anxiously for this. So we talked about that, and I talked to him about how this movie's evolved and everything. But I realized what I should have when I talked to Bill, the voice of Goofy, about this. I asked him man, I love this movie. Would you please sign this? Also, thank you for Bill, for signing this the correct way, because I handed him I want you to sign this, sir. He's oh, so do you want me to sign the tape itself, or no, I want you to sign the cover. This man, 100% neuron activated. He's done this 100 times. He's a real pro. He was a smart man. What he did, he opened it up, took out the actual cover, and signed it, because he said if he signs the plastic, the ink will rub off or whatever. This he's been doing this for a long time. He knows it. Absolute legend. He signed it, and then I asked him man, this movie rules. I'm surprised at how how much it's grown over the years, its reputation. And then but then as that's like the few days after the convention I went on, I was thinking about this. I thought like, man, I wish I would have told Bill about how important his performance in this movie was, and even in like an extremely goofy movie, because massive legend, yes, because I realized like this is the first, like the real first time I think for me where we got to see Goofy really show some like real like emotion and have like not just be like a goof em up like, whoa, come on, we gotta go save Mickey from the door, we gotta find the door to darkness or whatever, you know. It's not like that stuff. It's like the scene where like when like Max and him, like the scenes in the movie where Max and him are like fighting and stuff, like seeing him being act like a caring parent in that movie like felt real to me. Like the scene where Pete tries to tell him like, you know, your son, if you don't take care of him, you know, he'll walk all over you. You know, can you really trust your son, Goof? And Goofy just like, I don't believe you. Max is, he's, he'd never do that to me. We got something stronger, Pete. You know, that scene lives in my head rent free, and it sends chills because it's just like the first time like seeing Goofy show like real emotions and like not just care about his son like, oh, he could go to jail or whatever, you know. Seeing that is like, it was powerful. Seeing Goof, like seeing a hearing a performance and not like having it be like a goddamn joke was shows how good the writing and like Bill is at his job. So, um, because like here's I was gonna even bring up like, because now in retrospect it's like, man, if I meet Bill Farmer again, I'm gonna like tell him about how I really wanted to like ask him, tell him how much I really appreciated his performance in this movie, because also I like how people are now like doing these stupid like videos of like Goofy and Mickey or Goofy and Donald have like an argument that's the argument from Marriage Story or some shit, and it's just like, you know, Bill Farmer did this for real, like in a goofy movie, an extremely goofy movie. He emoted and showed like care and compassion and everything. He showed these real human emotions, and it wasn't for like a stupid joke. He did it for like because the character, you know, for the character. So he didn't do it for lols. He did it for real. So, but yeah, he wrote "Best Wishes" from Bill Farmer, and then of course Max Jason said, "Stay goofy, your pal Max." And also when I showed him this thing and he saw that Bill's signature was written, like, oh, you got my dad to sign it. That was really cool. Um, I ended up shaking hands with him, which is really cool. He asked for my name. Yeah, Jason was cool. Both of them were great. I just wish I interacted with Bill a bit more. That was my one regret. My one regret is I wish I interacted with Bill just as much as I interacted with Jason. So that's I just realized how like these images here. One is like clip art. The other one is like hand painted nice. Anyways, yeah, this is going in like a case or something. I don't know. I have to figure out how I'm gonna properly preserve this absolute treasure. Um, One thing I kind of regret now too is I just realized I have my VHS copy of Bambi. Should have gotten friggin' Donnie Dugan to like, because he was there too to like sign it. You know. Well, you live, you learn. Hopefully he'll be around for when the next convention goes. Because honestly, I'm starting to think maybe I want to go to the Winter Sacanemies as my as the con of my real choice. Because one, considering how things are, um, like when you have a full time job and like, you know, when people ask for time off, January and February are often dead months, especially January because everybody's coming home from the holidays, everyone's getting off from their Christmas vacation, so nobody wants January. So that's kind of the perfect time for me to like, because I mean, I literally asked January like a month ahead. And they're like, yeah, you can have it. I'm like, rule, sweet. So I might start doing Sacanime Winter for now on. You know. So all right, that's the haul for this year. Um, okay. So, one thing I did, well, another reason I wanted to go, aside from getting Bill and Jason's um, signatures on that VHS and taking some mediocre to bad insects photos and some decent Instagram ones, if you want to look at those, was I, last year, acquired a 400-foot roll of old video news film from the early 80s, I think. Either late 70s, early 80s. I'm going to say early 80s, most likely. And it's just been sitting in my refrigerator, taking up space, being preserved until I had a good reason to use it. And I thought, like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go to Sacanime and use it there. Now, I already had 2 other cameras, and I was prepared to take one of them. Until... Oh, man, look at that. Disgusting. Until I came across this, like, really cheap camera on eBay. I think somebody was selling it for, like, total $50. Like, shipping and handling, $50 total. Came with this case. I thought, like, you know, I haven't really used this one before. It's from the same company as my preferred one. But this is a later model they built. And I thought, like, you know what? It says it works. Looks like it's in good condition. I'm going to bring this along and try it out. I'll hopefully not ruin this film. So, I took this bad boy to the con. Oh, my little light meter. So, which I had around my neck the whole time. Okay. So, at the con, I went around and shot 16mm footage of the goings on in the con and also cosplayers. And it was such an interesting experience, to say the least. Because, for one, it's interesting to see how people react to you walking around in a... Hold on, what's the light on this? I want a good exposure on this. Hold on a sec. I'm just doing... So, at this kind of lighting, if I wanted to get good exposure, 100 would not be sufficient. Or actually, it would be sufficient, but it would have to be all the way open. So if I got like 500 or 400, that'd be decent. Anyways, sorry, just playing around with the light meter. That's how I was able to make sure everything was properly exposed. Although, we're about to find out if I did a good job or not. Probably coming next week. So, yeah, I decided, let me go and like record these cosplayers and these con goers with this old movie, like this old film that news, like TV news broadcasts would use, that had been preserved nicely, and that's what I did. I went out and did just that, and oh boy, this was a story. Because number one, day one, I had everything ready. So in order to get ready, the there we go. The film came in this box. It's 400 feet. Again, you can see the little like TV color bars here. But the can is even cooler. I'm keeping this can, by the way. So the thing is, this comes in this kind of box, right? I don't know what the 63 means. I hope it doesn't mean 1963 because it was not produced before then or by then. So I think this is from 85. Right, so because it comes on a 400-foot roll, it doesn't come on a spool. It comes on a core. It's like little, like round plastic, like circle. Like, I don't want to open it up again. But anyways, it comes on a core, so that means actually I think I have something to show you what the core looks like. All right. So it comes on one of these things. This is the core, and it's 400 feet. If you open that box up, and it still was in its black packaging, by the way, it was still in like black plastic, unopened, beautiful, amazing. Um, if you were to open that package in light of any kind, you ruin that film. All this being exposed to like the light, it's done. You're dead. So you ruined a bunch of film. It's useless. It's just a bunch of bleeder now. So what I had to do was take, let's say this is 400 feet. Take this in total darkness. Luckily I have some winders. And then get 4 of these. Luckily I have a bunch of them. And spool this onto this. Which was hard because I don't have a thing that adapts these cores to spools. It's called like a split reel. So I don't have a split reel to hold all this in place while I spool it onto these daylight spools. So I had to do this in total darkness, and also I couldn't do it. Okay, it's 400 feet. Yeah, so 400 feet into 400-foot spools, and luckily it did. It all went up. It all went without a hitch. My wife never woke up late at night to use the bathroom and ruin everything. And I was all set to go. I still had it refrigerated. It was all nice. It was all good. And, like day one of Sacanime was a kind of a shit show because I had everything set. I had my camera set. I had all the stuff I was gonna take set. Called up Tav, said let's go, and we got there. We were driving, and then as soon as I left and I picked up Tav, I thought like, oh dang, Tav, I forgot my light meter. So I forgot this guy. Otherwise, I couldn't shoot anything. So we went back, got it. We started driving again, and then we forgot our proof of vaccination cards, and we had to drive back to his house and then back to my house to get these vax cards. So then so after those two stops, staying in town, it's always the domestic partners who ruin everything. I'll get you, Tab. I'm running. We're finally on our way to the convention. We're having a good time. We get to the con. We find parking, and I'm getting ready to load up the camera. Now, in retrospect, I should have loaded it before I even left the goddamn house, because it would have been all set to go. But I was wrong. I thought, it's fine. I'll just load it at the convention. I just want to, it'll be fine. So, I get the spool. I get my box that I've reboxed it in, and I open the camera. And instead of finding it like this with a take up spool, I find it like this. So that means I would have had. Let's say this is loaded. I would have had this, and then nothing for it to go on. I was so bummed out, like you would not believe how like goddamn bummed out I was when I found out. When I found that out, I was so depressed. Like when I realized what happened, like I was like telling Tav like, "Oh my god, I can't shoot today. I don't have this. What do I do? What do I do, Lord?" And he's like, "It's all right, man. Just I don't know. I mean, no one can come and like that. There was like no one who could show up and save me and like drive from our hometown to Sacramento to like drop this off at the convention for me so I can get some shooting done." So I was just like, I was despondent, just like, oh my god, what do I do? And then I even told Tab, after we had parking, paid for parking and everything, we're starting to get in line for the goddamn convention. I just, like, I had straight up asked Tav, should I drive back home and get the take up reel so I could do some shooting? And he said, no, like, you're like, no, I don't think it's not worth it. It's like, you're just gonna waste more time. You know, he pretty much talked me out of it, and he was right. Like, it would have been a waste of time because at one, I hate driving. So to drive back another half hour, come back, that's 1 hour I would have wasted. That I ended up wasting somewhere else, um, which I'll tell you in a sec. Um, so it was time wise, it would not have been worth it. And so then I started planning. You had to call local places nearby too. I'm getting there. So I thought, like, there's a camera store in the neighborhood around here. Maybe they've got this stuff because from my experience in going to camera stores in downtown Chicago when I used to live there, Central Camera in the Chicago Loop has movie film stuff. Is it overpriced? Yes. Is it available for anybody to like look at and say, okay, cool, like it's there at least? Am I gonna have to pay like a premium on it? Yes. Am I gonna be able to like do what I want to do? Yes. So I would rather bite the bullet. So while I was waiting in line to get my wristband because I pre-registered, I told Tav, "Hey man, I don't want to really like be that guy calling up in the middle of this like convention. Can you do me a favor and call up this place and ask them, hey, do you have do you have 60 millimeter daylight spools or take up spools?" And he calls back and says, "Hey, I called them and they said they don't have this stuff. They only have stuff for modern cameras." And I said, "That's awful. Why doesn't this place have stuff for old school cameras? What kind of a camera place is this? This is garbage." So after that, and realizing there was no other place I could possibly go to that would have the stuff that I need, I ended up just like waiting in line, this long ass line. I think I waited like an hour, um, like to get my wristband because what happened was, um, this year, in order to kind of reduce contact and stuff, you like you couldn't just have like the QR code on your phone and present it like I think we did with like Saber in 2018. Saber, I don't know if you can confirm this if you're still in the chat, or Tab, you can even confirm that. But back, I think like 4 years ago, you could just like you showed your phone QR code or whatever, and then they would just like, all right, cool, here's your wristband, and like your little swag bag. So this year, I guess they really reduced that stuff because obviously, and like, but I guess people still didn't get the memo of like, hey, it's faster if you print out your thing. Just print it out because if you have your phone stuff, we can print it out for you and look you up, but it's gonna take longer. So guess what everyone decided to do? They decided to not print it out, which is fair. You know what? There's also the chance that like people don't have printers at home. Understandable. So for anybody who's not blessed enough to have a printer at home, they're pretty much just like had to wait in line and like extra long to get their wristband. Luckily, I think because here's what happened. Like the line started. Let's say, give me a square. All right. Like let's say this Goofy movie tape is a block. Let's say like the main hotel where you get your stuff, where Tav, because he didn't pre-register, got his stuff early here. He was able to like go in and out easy, but I had to wait in line. So the line started at the corner here of this block, went all around the end of the block here, around to the other across to the headquarters for that hotel. So that's where it spanned, and I waited from here to here, and then halfway through this part of the block, they started sending people out to with wristbands to collect people who had printed out their their tickets. So if you had a paper ticket, luckily they would have found you and you would have like paid it correct. Like you would have been given the wristband, which is what happened. So thank God that happened. Some people don't have a printer, but will have a damn air fryer, and vice versa. I have both. I have both an air fryer and the printer now, Tav. Unfortunately, my printer sucks. Or it's rather my wife's printer. She needs it more for her work. So, anyways, so I was waiting for these like paper ticket guys to save me. I texted Tav, like, man, I'm so despondent and sad here. Waiting in line, just thinking about the stuff. I need you to show up and like distract me from my fate for day one. So Tav went hunting for me to find me, and he finally did. He's like, "Where are you? I haven't seen you yet." Just like keep going. He's like, "What do you mean? Like, did I pass you?" He's like, "No. I think are you lost? I haven't even seen you yet. You would have passed me." And luckily, I did find the boy. He showed up. Haha. I have neither. Oh, Saber, you need to get a printer or an air fryer. Either or, they're modern necessities. Anyways, so having this was out of the question. It lived in the car for the whole afternoon, sadly. So I waited in line. Taft showed up. He cheered me up. Still felt pretty bad. Tried to convince my wife to see if like she could get like our in-laws to drive up and like drop off at school, but it didn't work out. Fair enough. I don't blame her. So yeah, we just kind of hung out in the line, joked. I told Tab that like one of the places around the block from or on the back part of that block where the line was going was this place called Jack Dane's Auto Service, and their mascot is like a little silhouette of a Great Dane. It turns out they have a real black Great Dane that was being walked by I think by the owner, and she was just walking and like enjoying seeing all these cool cosplayers, asking them like, "Wow, what a great costume!" And it was very cool. And there's this cosplayer behind me. So one of the things which is tied to one of the new things I saw, Tab tried to explain to me the reasoning for this, but also I think it's just the fact that this is just going to be a thing you're going to see at like conventions now, maybe. And I think this anime may have led to it. But there was this cosplayer with her boyfriend behind me. She was dressed up in a bunny girl outfit, like the Playboy bunny kind. Well, you know what I'm sure you guys understand what it is, but she was there, and like as soon as she saw this dog being walked for his normal like everyday walkies, she's like, "Oh, can I see your dog?" And of course the owner was like, "Go ahead." And like she like stepped out of line for like a tiny bit, like not very far, just to say hi to this doggy, this good dog. It's a good boy named Jack, the Jack Dane of the auto service, if you will. And like she's like enjoying this beautiful dog, this beautiful animal, and all of a sudden like I guess the dog got a little too friendly. Not friendly enough for like I think the cosplayer complained or anything, but like enough for like his owner to know that, hey, that's rude. We don't do that. But I think because the cosplayer had a very low cut like bunny girl outfit, and she was also pretty endowed. Like the dog like started getting a little too friendly with her cleavage, which led his owner to be like, "Hey, we don't do that." So look, I mean, but you know, it's a dog; it doesn't know any better. But I joked with Tav like, "Man, imagine that being like the first dog to get canceled in 2022. You heard of the milkshake dog, but what about the cosplay harassment hound?" Sounds like a thing that Truma would enjoy. But anyways, so we finally got out of the line. We finally got to the convention, and as soon as we started walking around the vendor hall, my spirits got immediately lifted. Seeing all these people in their cosplays, enjoying everything, seeing all the cool stuff, and I was just like, spirits lifted. I got over it, had a good time, took photos with my phone. They're on Instagram now. Had a great day one, despite missing out on this. Which actually, in retrospect, was probably better because day one, the day was overcast, which means it wasn't probably great for light, especially with older film because it loses its sensitivity to light. So it's probably better that I didn't shoot that day. Um, but then day two, I made sure we had everything. So day two went off without a hitch. So this time I loaded my camera at the house, got the second roll, and we were ready to go. You know, rock and roll, baby. And I'm walking around looking at things to shoot. Of course, I'm shooting around the way, the little like street down to get the convention, getting shot to that. And here's the thing. I think as the weekend wore on, I got more confident. But like the first 2 days of having to go up and like talk to cosplayers to get their like picture, to ask if they could take a picture of their cosplay, especially if they're female, I always feel nervous because I don't know what it is, or I do know what it is, but I always, no matter what, even if I feel like I don't come off as creepy, for some reason, I have this horrible, aching like fear that I just look and come off as a creep. And my wife keeps telling me, like, no, it's all in your head. You don't look like a creep, you know. But it's hard for me to accept that, you know. It's hard for me to, like, not think of it that way. So, to go up and, like, ask these cosplayers, can I film you with my camera was a challenge. So, I'll show you how this works a little bit. So, spring wound. Has a little like spring motor, like a little power meter, if you will, and then like also film remaining. It's very simplified. I like this design a lot. Anyways, you wind it. A couple winds, it's already at like a quarter of its power. So, wind it. Little up a single frame. Lock it in. There you go. I feel less creepy and more monstrous. Fair. Well, okay, here's the thing, Tab. You're a big fella. You're a big fella, if you will. So I don't know, I think you probably find yourself more intimidating to the common person in general than like I don't know, like I feel like I come off as creepy maybe, whereas like I know you feel like you come off as monstrous or intimidating, but the thing is like it was a very interesting process because to go up and like ask a cosplayer, hey, can I film your cosplay, or can I like get like can I record or whatever your cosplay? Like I didn't even say like, oh, it's for it's for documentary. Just like, can I, because I think they're used to like especially conventions for people to like get video or whatever, but like it's not even can I get like video of your cosplay. I have to say, can I get film of your cosplay? Can I film your cosplay? Can I shoot your cosplay? That caught a lot of them off guard. I got complimented a lot for bringing like an old school camera, an old camera to a convention. Like I'll talk about it in a second, but essentially the process was, I tried to get as far as I could, and then I would start like this. Let's say this is you're looking up at this. Right, so camera would start up here, and then to get a full shot of the cosplay, I would pan down, and then back up again. And I realized as soon as I started panning down towards the legs and feet, I realized like, man, the internet has ruined legs and feet, because now I feel like I'm getting feet videos or leg videos of or footage of like their legs and feet just for like some creep site, and now it makes me feel bad. So that's why I felt creepy and weird towards I try to do my thing, my film thing. That's why I felt bad about it. So, I feel sorry for any cosplayer or vendor I scared when they see a meat mountain approach them for a picture or item. It's like, hello, like like your your merchandise. How much? For you, sir, it's for free. Really? You know, I don't mind paying, please. I want, I would like to engage in commerce, please. No, please, it's free, please. Very well. So that's interesting. No matter all, the whole weekend, it was just me trying to tell myself like, you're fine, you're okay, you're not creepy. They understand, but also like I know what kind of shots I took at the convention, so I have a strong feeling that that my film might not look as dynamic as some of these like cosplay videos, because I don't know if any of you have ever like taken a chance to look at like the videos that people who are like video makers or photographers take at cosplay or at like any kind of convention. But there are always these like videos where it's just like you see the camera like sweep around them. You know, they have like their DSLR or their like even their phone camera on like on a on some kind of like on like some kind of Steadicam rig or what do you call it? Those not I think it's gyroscopic or some kind of gyroscopic rig. You know, like they kind of get those like cool fluid steady shots. You know, Steadicam shots. So like to see that, you know, it was and I saw a few people have with like their like kind of like handheld like gyroscopic rigs and all that. That was cool to see. But like almost every cosplay video looks the same. It's always like boom, like here's a shot. Oh, zooming around while the cosplayer like does like a cool pose or whatever, you know. And I know my video is gonna look like the maybe it was just like I'm thinking editing wise. I know this is what I'm gonna do, but like it's gonna look like a bunch of home movie stuff, and that's fine. I'm okay with it looking like home movie stuff. I don't care. Um, every shot's gonna be repetitive once you realize how much of it is just like panning up and down, panning up and down. Um, but like I think in retrospect, I'll probably take if I ever take this camera again, I'll probably take shots of this that are farther as opposed to closer, um, because it's hard to like create enough distance where everything is in frame. But also, I think the biggest frustration for me for taking like 16 millimeter footage of these congoers at Sacanime was the fact that like a lot of them like would just pose for like a photo. Like they would see this big ass camera. They would hear like home movies trademark. Thank you. Yeah, I'm Brendan Small. Um, they would see this big ass camera. They would hear it wind and everything, and like they would just hold the pose. They would just hold like their little like cosplay like in character pose, and it's just like I it reached a point where like I would tell cosplayers like feel free to move around, like this is the film camera, this is a moving picture camera, it's a motion picture camera, it's a moving picture, kid, come on, move around, it's a moving picture. Like it got to the point where just like it's a moving picture, move, damn you. There were a few cosplayers for sure I knew who like took the time to like move and stuff, and it's just like it's a moving picture. I know in the background you can see movement, but like, please, cosplayer, move. So next year or next time I go, I'm gonna make sure I emphasize the the motion picture part of this motion picture camera. So, hell, I might even do the stupid thing where like you like sweep around the cosplayer, getting that really cool like sweepy shots. Um, Putting this on one of those goddamn rigs because this is a heavy ass camera. I could throw this and like murder some like cave someone's skull in. Honestly, but yeah, this is heavy. It's got heft. It's solid metal, of course. So But yeah, so day two, I got a lot. I got like two rolls worth. That's 200 feet because I have 400 feet. So I ended up having to do 200 on Saturday, 200 on Sunday. So with more experience and stuff. Oh yeah, as a before I move on, um, shooting outdoors was fine because I set the light meter to where I want it to be set. So a good example of this is like initially this film was rated at 400 ISO, so or ASA whatever. So if you were to shoot in like bright daylight, let's say all the way up to maybe like a 17 or something, it would tell you to like close that bad boy up to like 11 or something, almost closed. Um, Instead of doing that, uh, because it's been stored so long, you have to kind of compensate for its loss of sensitivity. So I guess the rule in general is to like either stop down or stop up. Um, Either like open it up like a certain number of stops of f stops on your lens to let like the appropriate amount of light in. So for me, if it's at 400, like like for every decade, so like let's say 80 is where it starts, 80s. So 90s it would be rated at 200, 2000s it would be rated at 100, 2010s at at 50, 2020 would be at 25 ASA, which is essentially the norm for these kind of cameras, actually. So if you had like a high speed film from like the early 80s or 70s, and right here, there you go. This is because the big one's the exposure meter, right? So you could like adjust it to where you want it to be. So, and I guess like the norm would be 10 because that's where the red and the 16 is. Because 16 was considered normal speed for, um, 16 was considered normal speed for silent filmmaking because it goes immediately, and then it became 18, and then it became 24 for anything. But 24 was always like, yeah, you're shooting sound, whatever, do that. But yeah, so if you either had a film like that was 16 or whatever. So if I had the batteries for this exposure meter, which should probably still work because the battery compartment is in pretty good shape. But if I had batteries for it, which I know exists, and I didn't have time to order any or whatever, um, I could have used just this exposure meter, not have to have this hanging um, off of my neck. So I could have just look at the 24 frames, set that to 25, like essentially just like this, and then would have done all the guesswork. And then if it were underexposed, the um, the viewfinder would have told me, "Hey, there's not enough light, man. Get some light in there." So yeah, and this is where the battery compartment would be. But yeah, so that's the case. But there we go. So yeah. So which leads me to shooting indoors. Outside is fine. Indoors was a challenge because there are some parts of the convention center, even though it's bright lit to our eyes, was not super brightly lit or enough for the sensitivity that the film was now rated at. Because at 25, it was considered like that's like sun. You got to have more light in there. So I have a strong feeling that everything that I shot, um, indoors is gonna look very dark and underexposed. I have very little faith, unfortunately, for all my indoor stuff. If I had film that was at least 100 or higher, everything indoors would look superb and normal. But because it wasn't, like, I have no faith that it's gonna be good. I know I'm gonna have to like. I mean, I could ask the laboratory um, to push it to make it brighter, but like that's pretty expensive, and sending off these four 100-foot rolls off at once, because I really was considering maybe waiting this week, and I thought like no, I should do it now. I still have enough money in my account to do it off right now. I might as well do it, and, instead of like being budget conscious and shooting it like and like sending off one or two one week and then another two off another week. So it's I just kind of I can't wait to see how this is gonna look. You know, it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. So hold on a second, I gotta do something real quick. There we go. Okay, so that was day two. Day three, more of the same. Actually, it was more luckier day three because for some reason there was a bunch. There was like outside. There was a bunch of which is there was a bunch of like I don't know. They set up some kind of like dance area, so I was able to get more movement this time. So that was cool. So I think I focused on more on shooting outside. I also realized that like man, I'm like me waiting outside to like look for cosplayers to like take footage of kind of puts me in the same league as these like photographers who show up to conventions. And I asked Tav about this, just like it's like man, there's all these like photographers who are showing up to like get footage of these cosplayers, or not footage, but pictures of these cosplayers, and like and Tav was just like, yeah, they don't even like some these guys don't even buy um they don't even buy like passes or whatever, or like tickets. They only go to the part outside where every all these cosplayers are hanging out. So, which was shocking to me, but also like I get it. Like you want these cool photos of these cool kids in their cosplays, but you don't want to pay for the full con experience because you don't really care to look at the vendor hall or panels or meet these these guests. You just want the pictures of these cosplayers. You're not even gonna bother to shoot inside because it's like you're gonna be in the way of everybody, so you might as well just shoot outside. I get it. So, but it's also funny to like run into all these people who recognized my camera, not as like specifically this model, but also like, whoa, yo, that's an old camera. I like old cameras too. Or, whoa, yo, that's an old camera. I shoot with I shoot with film too sometimes. Tell me about it. So I got to meet a bunch of people who were who were very excited to see me keeping it old school, as they often say. So that made my heart grow like three sizes this weekend. One for each time. Because I think day one there was like one of the cosplayers told me like, "Whoa, that's a really cool old camera. That's awesome." And then like as I was walking around, like these some of these tweens like passed by me and like complimented my camera. It's like that's really cool. It's awesome. You know, it's like nice, thanks. Um, and then day th- like day two, I was interacting with this kid. I took footage of this kid in a Ryoga cosplay from Ranma, and his buddy came up. He was like, "Whoa, what kind of camera is that? I got cameras like that too." Sorry if it sounds like Millhouse, but he's like, "That's really cool, man." He's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh wow!" Like, I think most cosplayers I think who recognize this was a film camera genuinely asked me after I like recorded them, or filmed them, if this is gonna be on anywhere like Instagram or YouTube. Is it gonna be on YouTube? It's like, oh, cool. Like, can you give me your YouTube channel. So I have like some people. Maybe they tune in to watch this. Shout out to you folks who have subscribed to me to see how your Sacanime footage turns out. God, I hope it does. Um, at least the daylight stuff should look good. Anything that was shot with daylight, I know will look good. Everything that was shot indoors, crossing my fingers. Um, so yeah, it was cool to see people recognize my camera, appreciate it, adore it, tell me, yo man, like what film are you shooting on? I got some of this stuff too. It's like I inherited it from my grandparents or whatever. It's really cool. I think the longest conversation to the point where I think this kid's friend genuinely um I think started getting like bored and bothered by the fact that we were nerding out over over old cameras and shooting with film. I met this kid. He like I was just passing by. He and his buddies were like just hanging out. He saw my camera. He's like, "Whoa, what kind of camera is that?" And like the same thing that it always starts. And like he whipped out his like little 35 millimeter camera that he had already loaded with some like black and white Ilford film that he was gonna process at home himself and like do all the like push it or whatever. And we were just talking about like film stuff and like shooting on film and like shooting taking both like movie film and like photo film stuff and just talking about it and just we talked about it for so long that like his friend sitting next to him um near like this like bit of gravel by these like trees like started taking some of the like little rocks from the gravel and like tossing it at us. Like that's how bored of like our like techno like not tech our like our technical film nerd talk was. So that was fun. That was kind of fun to know that like we got so technical that the that that their friends were that his friends were getting like bored and trying to get me like felt like trying to get me to stop talking to their friend about this about their about their hobby, you know. So that was fun. Um, yeah, what else did I? What else? Saw a lot of cool merch. Like I said, the Hollow Life stuff I think is. I'm gonna put this camera away for now. I think I've talked about it enough. By the way, I did not use that case for it. I actually used a different case because, like I said, I had two other cameras before I even used that one. But this is the case I was walking around with. So, and initially, I thought I was either gonna take this camera, which is an old, same company, earlier model. Some people would say the best model. People often say the Bolex is the best 60 millimeter camera if you're shooting spring wound. But there are the hardcore diehards who know the true power of the Bell and Howell Filmo. Old spring wound clockwork. Essentially a camera used. Saber, you might recognize this because it's a camera used to record battlefield footage. So essentially, this is like the army camera right here. So I was strongly considering taking this bad boy, but wow, it winds pretty fast. I was strongly considering taking this bad boy, but then its younger brother showed up in the mail, and I'm like, well, for another time, friend. That and the fact that like I've been it's only got one lens on it right now. I have another lens on another camera. When I do my camera review stream, when I do my camera showcase stream, I'll go more in depth about it. But the lens I've been looking for a viewfinder for it because it doesn't come with it standard. So I'm waiting for I'm waiting for that to come in, or not to come in, but like I'm trying to find the viewfinder for that so I can properly use it. So Anyways, so let's go back to normal stuff. Anyways, so I think one of the things I noticed, so the main cosplays I noticed this year, like the two main ones are the were the Demon Slayer cosplays, which I think I've seen, like, Tav has shown me only one like bit of footage from like that show. Whatever, it's fine. I'm not against it or anything. Um, but the other one was because there's a new FNAF game. Man, FNAF is back. Five Nights at Freddy's is back. Friday Night Funkin'. I think I saw one cosplayer. I saw like three different Amogus cosplayers. I saw like a white crewmate, yellow crewmate, and brown crewmate. And then, but like I was saying, like Security Breach is like the new, that and like Demon Slayer were like the new like it thing this year. Um, and with like Security Breach, obviously no one's showing up in like full fursuit or animatronic like looking model suit of Mogus. Yeah. For Security Breach, and I think I was on a recent. I'm plugging. I'm gonna just go ahead. They were suspicious individuals. Thank you. But talking about the FNAF cosplays, the Security Breach cosplays, I brought this up at during um the episode of the upcoming episode of Big Fellas that I'm gonna be on. So shout out to Tabby Face TV. Listen to Big Fellas. I'm gonna be on there. Gonna get to roast him good. But I brought up the fact that, like, why are these new designs for these Five Nights at Freddy's characters so horny? Like, why is Roxy the Wolf and Chica, like, why are they so curvy and hot? It's live now. Fig Bellas. Thank you, Saber. Thank you. So it's live now, so go ahead, feel free to link that in the description tab. So actually, let me see. I'm just gonna go ahead and link it myself. I'll put it in the. There we go. Let me. All right. There we go. So click on that link if you see it. So yeah. All right. But I grilled Taruma, one of the hosts, who was also in the chat earlier, about why are these designs for the new FNAF so horny? Like, so what? As soon as Scott Cawthon left, it's just like, yeah, let's make sure that, like, all the female animatronics are like super fan art bait. You know, we know that's what's gonna keep the fandom alive if we start paying towards their love of wanting to really be into these like animatronics. So I saw a lot of that. In fact, I think the popular one was Roxy. There were a lot of gals walking around in these sexy wolf girl outfits, some of which were even more. Speaking of live, I might go live in a bit with Skyrim. Cool Saber, I'll check it out when I get a chance and I'm done here. But yeah, so I saw a lot of that, Demon Slayer, and then of course Amogus. Still seeing some Steven Universe cosplayers keeping the fandom alive. I'm surprised to have seen some Homestuck cosplayers in 2022. I can't believe they're keeping it alive, and I recorded them with my camera, so kudos to those guys. Thank you. Saw a lot of meme cosplayers. Obviously, there's a Mountain Dew and the Hot Cheetos Knight Samurai, a Taki's Samurai. Those guys are cool. There's a dude with a Jack in the Box head walking around with different outfits. Friday he was Jack in the Box Gandalf. Saturday, Sunday he was Jack in the Box Doctor Strange. So Homestuck alive? Yeah, I know, right? I was surprised too, but I was there for it and I lived for it. JoJo's still going strong. Um, Obviously now with Stone Ocean, but people are still. Actually, I think this year I saw more. I saw some more Steel Ball Run cosplays. Which, by the way, we're at Stone Ocean with the anime adaptations. Oh baby, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Steel Ball Run. That is like neuron activated right there for me. So, all right, there's that, and then what else did I see? Pretty much everything else was just like a mishmash of stuff, you know. Forgot to mention the guy who was dressed as Char from Zeta Gundam. Oh, I didn't see that dude. Damn. Um, a lot of obviously like DC cosplayers. There's still a lot of Batman and Batman villain cosplayers. There's a really good Joker. Or not, I mean, there's okay. There's a few Joker, but not Joker. But there was some dudes dressed up as like Swag Riddler. There was a cosplayer who was just like, dang, that's the most swaggiest like Riddler cosplay I've seen in my life. Like I'm like I really wish I didn't get a chance, but I really wish I should have taken footage or at least a picture of that dude because he made my day with his with his Riddler cosplay. There was a Bane, some Harley Quinns, obviously the one I took that Tav hates. Sounds like my wife. Um, I'm kidding. He doesn't hate him. He doesn't hate. Tav doesn't hate the Harley Quinn I took a picture of. He's just doing some friendly trolling. Um, what else? Oh yeah, so here's the big thing that for me that surprised me. So aside from the numerous Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle, which surprised me, this year was like the most Howl's Moving Castle cosplays I've seen in my goddamn life, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm just surprised that it was a lot of that. Um, a bit of tomfoolery. Yeah, we do a bit of tomfoolery around here. So, anyways, aside from like the few Ghibli cosplays, which mostly consisted of again Howl's Moving Castle, I was shocked to see that there were no Hololive cosplayers except for two. There was a girl who was dressed up as Gura all weekend. Good for her. And obviously, as soon as I saw her, I needed to take a picture. Um, and then the other one that surprised me was that caught me off guard because we got into a conversation about this. Was there was a gal who dressed up like casual Callie, so like her second outfit, and we got into a conversation about like, man, like how come there are no like almost no like Hololive cosplayers? And just like I know it feels like there should be more. Like why isn't this popular as much as we think it is? And it's just because like we follow VTubers, we follow Hololive stuff. So for us, when you live in that world, you think it's everything. But once you get out of it and in the larger context of anime conventions, you realize like maybe it hasn't hit this part of like the world yet. Even though Gura, big W, thank you. Um, Here's the thing. I feel like the reason it hasn't hit our my beloved Sacanime yet because like you can see it in conventions obviously all over uh, the East, like in Japan, obviously in its home country, places like Taiwan. Was it a big enough W that Wario had to come out of the W door? Not yet. Oh hey there, Angel Dust cosplayer here. How are you? Oh hey Tyler, cool. I'm doing good. I'm just talking about the weekend that was, man. Also, it's cool that you dropped by. Your Angel Dust cosplay was really rad. No, but I talked about the experience of filming with that camera I recorded your cosplay with. The film's been sent off, so just we're just playing the waiting game here. So yeah, how have you been? And while you type that, I'll just finish up about like just like kind of. Oh, you're welcome. Uh, like yeah, so like I'll just finish up what I was saying about cosplays. I can't wait to see the final product. Me neither. I mean, honestly, like I know I'm gonna have to edit it a little bit to see. Oh, I've been good. Oh, good. That's good to hear. Um, I'm like I said. I'm like I said earlier in the stream. I'm really hoping it all turns out. I know I'm gonna have to like maybe do some like digital stuff to like kind of brighten up some images. I know for the indoor stuff. I think yours is gonna be fine because there was enough light for when I recorded your cosplay. But I know stuff inside the vendor hall proper is gonna be like might come out a little darker than I was hoping. I'm hoping that the film has retained enough sensitivity from when it was manufactured for it to be still good. So best case scenario, some of it might look a little overexposed if it was actually well taken care of as much as the vendor said it was. Worst case scenario, a lot of that stuff. Luckily, your stuff not might not be that great, but anyways, what I was saying. So yeah, I'm just surprised, but I think like certain cosplays and certain like cultures, I think just haven't hit our area yet. Like I think this like I think people who are cosplaying as VTubers, um, I think just it's probably something that's probably in like bigger conventions, like in New York or LA or whatever. But I think they haven't hit old Sacramento yet, so we'll see. Um, dang, what else? What else did I see? So there's that. Actually, uh, Tyler, because if you're still here, uh, I think yours was like the only has been hotel cosplay that I saw this weekend. Unless you saw other ones, but out of curiosity, could I use the final footage in my vlog? Honestly, I can't stop nerding out about being filmed on 13 millimeter. It's 16 millimeter, and yes, you. No, you're totally welcome to do it. Once I get it back and I transfer it, obviously, um, which I can do at home. I do some rough transfer like footage transfers. It's not great. It's not professional quality. I'm honestly just using like my video. I have like an old school telecine setup. In my old school, I mean like it's this cool little converter box that does it that you have to hook up a video camera to. Um, but it does the job fine. Um, and honestly, if it turns out as good as it looks, I will 100% like get like go send it off to like get it properly transferred. But if it looks still rough, I don't mind it looking rough. But yeah, as soon as that's up, you feel free to use it. Also, hey Tenfu. Um, yeah, like I said, like I should be getting the footage back hopefully next week. I sent it off earlier this week, so right after the con. So like I said, next week I should get it. Hopefully by the end of the month, that footage should be all up and viewable. So crossing crossing my fingers that this footage is good. And like I said, I'm excited. Even if it comes out bad, I don't care. I shot people like you and everyone else who was there at the con. That's gonna be great. So yeah. No, but I was saying. So did you see any other has been hotel cosplayers? I feel like I saw it was only you, and I've been kind of looking through the Instagram posts to see if anyone else showed up, and it seems like you honestly show up in a lot of people's like posts. Pretty excited to like to like take a picture of you. So you seem pretty popular with your cosplay. So I'm wondering if there were any other people. Oh, there were. Okay. I feel like I might have seen a few. Um, Maybe there might have been some like mostly Blitzo and Morosikas. Okay, Morosikas. I feel like maybe I might have seen some Hell of a Boss cosplayers. I feel like there might have been. I don't know. I'm always surprised to see what is like kind of what cosplays are outside of anime are in vogue. And there was another Angel Dust as well, one on Friday and Saturday. Oh, I must have missed that one. Because the only one I saw was you. Unless it's like one of those kind of cosplays that are more like subtle, because for me, like some subtle cosplays, I have a hard time sussing out if it's like, is this what I think it is or is this not? So yes, yeah, as Captain Kiss, it's pretty awesome you stopped into the stream. Yeah, I'm very happy you did too because it's also 10:30. So I thought maybe I usually stream late. So yep. Oh, and there was a Charlie on Friday. That's the one, and a few Moxies and Millie. Cool. I was thinking. I think I did see a Charlie on Friday. The other ones I don't think I spotted. Again, it's a pretty big con, and who knows if they did it more early in the day or late in the day. So I'm sure I missed a few. I know I missed a lot because also I didn't realize until day three as I was walking around trying to get more footage that there was also another part of the convention that I completely missed out on, or another whole area that was being populated by cosplayers. So that was my bad. Day three, um, I tried to remedy that, but yeah, I'm always interested in seeing like what like fan thing is being popular enough to like spawn cosplays. Like I said, and also just seeing how people like adapt something that maybe doesn't have like something that's easy to cosplay as into something more. I don't know, like a subtle or I don't know. It's interesting, you know. Like I was saying earlier, all like the like FNAF security breach cosplays I saw were really interesting. So need to go to bed now. Good luck on the rest of the stream. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for stopping by, Tyler. So, like I said, hopefully everything turns out right. But thanks for stopping by. But yeah, so yeah, I'm always interested in seeing where, like, how like cosplayers adapt certain things. It's because there's always a thing of like I guess for like something that's more easy to adapt or easy to like look at a costume and say like, cool, this is the thing, you know, this equals that, you know, like most anime cosplays, like I guess Inosuke from Demon Slayer is a good example. Like there was a lot of that because it's mostly pants and like no shirt and a pig mask. So um, that's interesting to see. But like I think something that isn't easy to cosplay as like again like characters from Five Nights at Freddy's, where again like how do you cosplay this big animatronic that is literally just like without having to build a fursuit or like a real animatronic suit. Like how do you do that? And the question is like you kind of try to do get the spirit of the character and like do you know like try to like get the spirit of the character in what kind of clothing they would be if maybe they were like humanized. If you try to do like Gajinkas or whatever, do a Gajinka cosplay or a humanized cosplay. Oh, speaking of like fandoms that I haven't really interacted with since I was part of it, Homestick being one. The other one being was like I'm surprised to see some people still cosplaying as My Little Pony in 2022. So that's interesting to see. Um, I'm really shook to see that and Homestuck show up in 2022. You know, like people still keeping it alive, and yeah, it's interesting. A lot of Danganronpa as usual. Yes, that's true. I saw a lot of Danganronpa. Persona, I think I saw a lot. I saw some Persona 5. That's still around. Um, some Persona 4. Yeah, I'm like I said, and of course Mario will never go away. There's always going to be Mario cosplayers. There's always going to be Zelda cosplayers, Link cosplayers. So yeah, and also a couple Master Chiefs were there. Master Chief was there. It makes me think of that dumb video by Johnny Matrigano, just like, Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing with that brute? This brute's got this brute's throwing that ass back in a spin cycle, in a circle. He's got me trapped, stuck, like, locked in a spin cycle. He's been practicing. So, that's interesting. Actually, talking about cosplayers, I think I'm gonna switch over to some pictures I took of cosplayers at the con. So that were not shot on like the few that I took on like with my camera. So I'm gonna switch over quick. So give me 1 second while I readjust. Okay, so here we go. So this is from day one. All these are, by the way, in order of which I took. At least it was Mario and Luigi from the Super Show and not the stupid Mario Brothers. How dare you! I'll get you, Saber. Those boys are local heroes, and I will always love them. Um, Also, who knows if Dane is still living around? Uncle Dane still lives around our area because I know he was part of that crew before the creative differences split them up. But I am I'm sad. I wonder if he still lives in Sacramento or in this area, or if maybe he's he's moved on to L.A. like the rest of those like every other like YouTuber. So I don't know if that's not a dox. They fucking live here in Sacramento. Like anybody who lives in Sacramento recognizes every goddamn place that they shoot at in those stupid Mario Brothers videos. So all right. So first off, this young lady was old school Flash. Had a nice little convo about like why this is the best Flash outfit. I think she also cosplayed as this. Wore this on Sunday. Actually got footage of her again. I don't think she remembered me, but it's fine. Uh, I try to keep myself pretty memorable and low key. So, anyways, there's that. Again, really cool. I just like the simplicity of a Golden Age Flash. He's my boy. Um, Moving on. Some TF2. I snapped this while their NG was getting his goggles ready. But I like this little candid photo of these lads. And there you go. Um, I like me a good TF2 cosplay. I like these guys. So this is what a convention looks like in an era of of a pandemic. So um, these man, I just realized how easy it must be to like actually cosplay the engineer because you just need like blue overall, especially blue engineer. You just need blue overalls, a tool belt, everything you can buy at a like friggin' a workwear store is right there. I'm shocked at like how easy it is to like get all the materials for an engineer cosplay. It's actually very scary. It's like the one you don't have to build anything. Just go to your local workwear store and get everything there. Go to an Ace Hardware store. Everything for engineer cosplay is right there. So they're part of the meta for NBM. Moving on from that, Dio, also actually Princess Mononoke cosplay up here. So they're keeping that alive too. I saw a few of these, and of course Josuke from Jojolian up here. But this is I like this Diego Brando cosplay. It made my day to see Diego. Alrighty then. Yeah. But yeah, also shout out to that friggin' plush tail right here. Like they went all out. I like that they got the plush tail. Also, maybe my favorite like one of my favorite outfits from Steel Ball Run. I don't know. I considered cosplaying this a long time ago actually. When I first started reading it, was really into it. But anyways, moving on. Look, I grew up in the '90s. I was a teenager in the 2000s. Jane Silent Bob Strike Back was important to me in seeing, and so was Chasing Amy, as a young man who was into comics and seeing a movie about comic book artists and their lives being told in a way that was very accessible to me and made by someone who's a nerd. So seeing this dude show up as Blunt Man from that movie, as well as like Blunt Man and Chronic, like that section from the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back movie, made my day. So shout out to this dude. You made my that you were part of what made day one very very uplifting. This dude showed up in the Corona drip. According to him, a friend made it for him or sent it to him. Yeah, he doesn't know where they got it, but like, my God, this is incredible. This is the only other Hololive stuff. I think after I met that Gura cosplayer, I saw this. So if I do something very 90s, it should be Tommy Lee Jones too. Oh yes, please Saber. He's one of my favorite Two-Faces. It's one of my favorite goddamn performances. So, okay. Faust. Yeah, you know what? I'll take it back. The other thing I saw too, also Corona drip guy in the back here, Gur cosplayer. But Tab and I took a picture of this cosplayer together. Very cool Faust. I saw there was this girl walking around in a May cosplay with a giant foam rubber hammer that like not foam rubber, but like I think craft foam anchor that made my day. I never got to snap a picture or get footage of her. Regret. What, of course, the menace to every TF2 server right now, Sniper. I told, well, I mean not him specifically, but also I love that he made his kukri knife here. It's very cool. The thing I regret, I think the one thing that I told Tab would be really cool to see is someone cosplaying as the as a bot sniper. They're from TF2, like somebody like wearing the usual like the stupid gibbous, and then like the only time I think would be very acceptable to do like blasting your music is if you had like a speaker on you as the sniper with your gibbous and blasting like mic spam from it while you were like doing twitchy things. I mean, while you were like doing twitchy things inside of the convention, like someone needs to cosplay as like aimbot snipers, the current menace to TF2. So, moving on. Also, right here, let me zoom in right here. This dude's mask. Also, yellow sunglasses. This dude's mask is cool. I'm glad that he has like a mask that is TF2 related. Very cool. Very safe. Speak of the devil. There's the Gura. So, there you go. Gura cosplay. The one, if it had not been for that Cali cosplayer, she would have been the only one. Also, I think I think she made her. I think she definitely made her cosplay, but yeah, so very cool. Also, like nice, cool plush shark tail, which of course she had to like carry around because otherwise it would just drag on the floor. Very nice. Day 3. Actually, unfortunately, this is day 2 because day 2, and I only took this one because my wife likes Gura. But day 2 was all the Instax photos I showed you guys. So, skipping over to day 3. From WandaVision, look, if this cosplayer hadn't been walking around with this Vision cosplayer, my first thought would have been like, oh wow, that's a really good comic accurate like Scarlet Witch. But then with Made in Atlantis, yes. But then because also these boots are great. Like this Scarlet Witch cosplay is like really good for like a really good like classic like comic book look. But then you look at the Vision, it's just like, oh, this is from the show. I understand now. So, but it's great. It's a great cosplay. I love it. Spinell, Steven Universe, still keeping it alive. Oh wait, in the corner here, Mountain Dew Knight. There's the Mountain Dew Knight. So, very cool. I like that she made that really that again. I love the craft that goes into these. I like the commitment in the craft, regardless of whether you like the thing it's from or not. But I like Steven Universe, so JoJo. We got an Abaccio, we got a Bruno. Very cool. So some of the few JoJo ones. Also, like okay, like one thing I like about about friggin' uh, Vento Audio is how much like that's the drip. Like, look, mostly JoJo is drip, but specifically Vento Audio because they're like gangsters and they're in Italy. It's considered the drip. Um, like it's the drip one. Everybody's dripped out in Vento Oreo, so I appreciate how dripped out everyone is. Also, I think Abacho might be my favorite outfit in the group. So saw a few, and of course I saw a few other people dress up as as Giorno and everyone else. Trish. I saw one Diavolo, so which was interesting. I didn't get a shot of them. So this was a surprise because this dude. Um, so there's a web comic, and Saber, you're I don't know how you're gonna feel about this because I know you're a Friday the 13th man. You're a Jason's man. Godfather Requiem. So I don't know how you're gonna feel about this because I like this web comic and I like the idea of it, but there's a web comic on Instagram. That's how I've discovered it, and there's a few comic dubs of it on like YouTube, where it reimagines Jason if he hadn't died. But what if Jason had lived and became good and was this like hulking, muscle bound, silent himbo of a camp counselor who people think is trying to kill, who looks like he's trying to kill everybody, but is actually just trying to save everybody. Yes, thank you, Saber. Yes, oh, I love wholesome Jason so much, and it made my goddamn day to see somebody dress up as wholesome Jason. Because they also added in wholesome Michael Myers, and of course this gal's dressed up like Velma from Scooby Doo. That was also cool. Saber, you've been playing Halo. I'm sure you'll appreciate this. Also, in the background here, a lot of Akatsuki cosplays, but you'll appreciate this dude and the hard work he put in. These guys really were the backbone of those games. I always felt bad when they would bite it. I always wanted to make sure that my whole squad made it through in the. Yes, my favorite aspect is that Jason knows sign language. Well, it makes sense. He doesn't talk. I would rather. Okay. The YouTube channel Worthy Kids, who does animations, run by Ian Worthington, he did a really good Jason video where Jason and his other horror movie buddies, which consist of Freddy, the scissor guy. That's a sick marine. I hope I do an ODST one day. Yes. Jason, Freddy, Samara, or I guess Samara if it's the American remake of The Ring, or Sadako from Ringu, and the scissor guy from Clock Tower are like show up to a convenience store late at night, and Jason is super wholesome. He doesn't like sex and drugs. He doesn't like that Freddy wants to buy beer. And he's also kind of babysitting these other two kids, specifically like I think I like his like kind of babysitter style relationship with Sadako from Ringu, but like he also communicates in sign language, which I think is like the best thing. Like you have a silent slasher character who never talks. Don't give him a dumb voice. Just make him sign. Sign is like have him do sign language. That's great. Like because also it's visibility for people who do signing. So I've seen the animation. It's funny. Yes. So, anyways, back to this guy. Shout out to this dude. He was really cool. There was a few Halo cosplayers, mostly a Master Chief, like I said, and this dude was really cool. It's like, for me, I always kind of feel weird and bad. Maybe I shouldn't overthink about it too much, but like, I feel weird and bad when I realize I take a lot of like, I feel like I take a lot of photos of like female cosplayers. So I always try to bounce it out by saying like, okay, for like, I try to keep it 1 to 1 or at least 2 to 1. So, moving on, back to female cosplayers, or at least female identifying ones. Um, this gal here was Lumpy Space Princess. I saw his like purple outfit. The thing that was the dead giveaway was the star on the head. I'm like, that's it. That's Lumpy's. That's LSP. I gotta take a picture of that. I love LSP. She's one of the best characters from Adventure Time. She's one of the best worst characters. She's best because she's funny, and also worst because she doesn't grow, but also is like an important part of like fixing everything towards the end of that series. Spoilers. So I like how like one of the most important characters, one of the worst, is one of the people with the worst personalities. So, Rogue cosplay. I saw 2 Rogue cosplayers. One is going to be on the film, and this young lady, unfortunately, I think I ran out of film at this point, but I like Rogue. Rogue was one of my favorite X-Men from the '90s, and it's of course the '90s outfit. Um, and also I like her in Marvel's as Capcom, so that's really cool. I like that she's also doing the thing where like she's taking off the glove, so she knows she means business. What's next? Oh yeah, I think next up is the Callie cosplayer. There we go. So I took 2 photos. One of them is, and I think you can tell the difference because this one is the one that I think I use on my Instagram, and this one is the one that I wanted to use but I couldn't because there's one, the lighting is better. You can see more of the cosplay as evinced here. Also, great job on recreating this, but I think Tab also said like, well, it's one of the easier ones to recreate. I don't care, it's good. But this like confused looking kid, although funny, um, Guh. Yes, thank you. This confused looking kid kind of like makes it a little awkward, so I didn't go with that one unfortunately. So I went with this one instead. It's darker, sure, but like the same thing. It gets across the same thing. Like she was already in the midst of taking photos with like I think her photographer friend who was with her. So but yeah, very cool. We talked about Hololive cosplays and the lack of around the convention. So Loki cosplay again, another thing where that it's from the Loki show on Disney Plus. She's cosplaying. Make that confused kid into a. I would, but I always feel weird about using some like random kid's picture. So, um, anyways, this is clearly like I think inspired from the recent Disney Plus show, the Loki show. But also, if you didn't know any better, you would just say like, "Bruh, she's dressed up like '60s Loki, like classic Marvel Loki." Um, but if you do know the Loki show, you know that she's got little Gator Loki right here. I like Croco Loki, but to complete it, down here Loki Crocs. that made that made the cosplay go from like a 10 to an 11 right there. Now, you know what? Made it go from 10 little Gator Loki, 11 Loki Crocs, 12. So, that's cool. This gal, I saw her walking around with like this cool like very fuzzy Pikachu like hoodie. I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, what is that? But funny story, I posted this one, and then the gal over here, I guess noticed that was her cosplay, and like, mentioned that Loki Crocs bottom text. Yes. So she made it in because I really liked her like hoodie was really cool. I thought it was homemade. We had this conversation about how it actually wasn't. So it's cool to see that there's some like people out there making these weird Pokemon fan things, or if it's Pokemon official, who knows? Um, I love me the X Men. Look, Marvel's done the X Men dirty because Fox used to own them, and then they got a hold of them again, and they're still holding on to them. And I say, let my X Men go. But this gal, dressed up as '90s Gambit, my favorite Gambit. This is an iconic outfit. She rules. Moving on. You know this was coming, guys. You know a Bowsette cosplay was coming. So, obviously, here it is. But also, I don't know if this is going to get flagged or not. She's not the problem, but I'm glad that things don't usually have high res, but there is this booth right here. First off, this crowd right here was get around these cosplayers who were posing together with some like 2B cosplayer who Tav and I saw towards the end of our time there. Awooga, yes, but that's not here. She's okay. This cosplay is pretty cool. She's like the second Bowsette cosplayer I saw that weekend. I saw two Chompette cosplayers and then two Boozette cosplayers. But the one thing that like I know would make it not safe for work or home is that there's a print booth over here, and there's full on Magic Girl, Dark Magician Girl ass up here. Sam, she's Bowser. Yeah, way to go. Saber already made that joke, Tav, so you're late on that. But it wasn't until I realized that up in the corner here, there's just full on Dark Magician Girl ass. Sorry. Please don't ban me, YouTube. But yeah, so she was cool. But yeah, I didn't realize up here there's that flagged. Anyways, I stole it like every good comedian. Good. No, not good. Get out of here. And then of course, so here's the big phenomena that I saw this weekend, and I brought this up when I was waiting in line with that sexual harassment dog. Is that there was this influx of bunny cosplayers this year, and Tav said it was from I think it's called Rascal Senpai or something, Dreams of Bunny Girls. And I said, okay, but are any of these girls dressed up as any of the bunny girls from that anime or whatever? And he said, no, not really. But who knows? Maybe girls just have a bunny outfits and they just want to whip them out. One day, I'll steal it, and no one will ever know. But she was part of a group with other bunny cosplayers, like specifically her pal here. But yeah, there's this huge influx of, and by huge I mean like very. Well, I mean it's hard to miss a girl in a bunny suit, is what I'm saying. And whether it's like just kind of not generic, but like kind of your like normal bunny suit versus like bunny suit version of another cosplay, because I think one of the cosplayers back here was a girl, and Tav will confirm this, but there was a bunny suit cosplayer with take like who was in a 2B, who was doing a 2B bunny suit version. So it's interesting to see that was like the thing that was kind of roaming around this weekend. So but yeah, so let me switch back a little bit. So all right, so I'm back. But yeah, I was shocked to see that was like a popular, or something that was kind of popular, because like I said, I don't know if it's because like some might say I'm an expert in 2B. I'll get you. Um, Okay, that was okay. Here's the thing, like, because I know Tav took a picture of that Happy Chaos guy at the end of our time there, where we were fighting for uh, the man who we know is Darkland Master, who normally shows up to these streams. He came with us on Sunday, so that was the other thing too. So Tav's buddy Joe, who we know is Joe on the Discord, and Darkland Master, I think here, he came with us on day 3 to enjoy. And while we were waiting for him he was getting Starbucks, which I took some footage of too. Um, Tav went and snapped a photo of that Happy Chaos guy, and one of the people hanging out by him was this 2B cosplayer, and I swear to God, I don't know if the way I notice things is weird or not, but like it seemed like every time she like walked around her little group of like of convention chums, which included that dude, um, I think she took a picture with. Every time she like walked around and saw us like sitting and like chatting, it's looked like she was kind of like it looked like she was like looking at us, and I don't know if it's maybe like I don't know why I felt like it's one of those things where you can kind of feel someone looking at you. I don't know why she like seemed to like glance at us all the time. Like I don't know, maybe she was just like a little self conscious that we would like while she was turned away, we would like snap some creep shots, which of course never do at a convention, you man monsters. Um, like, but I don't know. It seemed it felt like every time like she would walk around her group and uh, she would it felt like she was glancing at us for some whatever reason. It's just like, are we interesting to look at, or making sure that we're not trying to get creep shots? Either way, valid reasons. Um, damn, you're not gonna review my haul sesh picks. Ah, all right, Tav. First off, you're not here to review your haul, so I can't look at your haul. Two, send me a link to your picks, and I'll if you send me a link to your picks right now from your Instagram or whatever, I will review your photos because also I wasn't you and I on Saturday and Sunday split up, so like you went to go shoot, get B roll. Here's the story. Um, Saturday was the day Tab and I split up to go do our things. I shot Tab. I let Tab was going to go shoot footage for his upcoming video for his channel, the return of Sacanime of cosplayer interviews. Right, spoilers. And along the way, while I was getting footage for my stuff, I ended up I got my footage done, and then Tab met up with me again, and he's just like, "Hey, I need you to be my cameraman for my interviews." Tab Instagram, all stock. All I shot Tab. Tab asked me to be his cameraman for his upcoming anime convention video. And the thing is, I didn't realize Tav wanted me to do this because when we were hanging out and went off to go get his footage, he never brought up the fact that he needed a cameraman. I just assumed that he was just going to do everything himself. And then he comes up and says, "Hey, Krallis, I need your help. I didn't get a cameraman." And to which I said, "What do you mean you didn't get a cameraman?" It's like, "Well, I need someone. I need to be on camera while I interview these poor defenseless cosplayers." And I said, "That's disgusting." And I said, "Okay, well, just let me finish off shooting my stuff, and then we'll go and I'll help you. Let's hope the links I posted work." All right, let's see. Are you posting them in the chat, or are you posting them in the Discord? Because if it's on the Discord, I have to open up Discord. Um, but yeah, just like so. Saturday, as soon as I was in recording all my stuff, I had to play cameraman to Tav. So when you see that upcoming footage, just know that I was behind the camera, and I think Saber can tell you whether or not I did a good job. Um, it's in the chat. Okay. Well, I'm looking at it. I haven't seen it pop up yet. Um, but I was yeah. So Saber will be able to vouch whether or not I was a good cameraman. But also I know for a fact that at a certain point, I as I was like kind of backing away to get it like a proper to get a good shot, I did bump into someone who was also walking forward. So that was my bad, and I think Saber will definitely have to add out like definitely edit out the part where I accidentally bump into someone because you can audibly hear it. So uh, I don't think YouTube lets me post the links; it hides them. Oh. Mm. All right, YouTube. I see how it is. You let me post links, but you won't let Tam post links. I got an idea. Hold on. All right. Okay, I found a solution. So let's see. Give me 1 sec to re-energize. All right, here we go. Tab. All right, so here's from Tab. Here's Tab's Instagram. Record. All right. 17 people. This man's is popular. All right, Tab. This is the first one? No. All right, so you only did take 2 and 3 like me. Or did you? Hold on. All right, so you got this Nesso berry, right? I don't know what this is, Tab, but I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I don't know what this is. This looks cute. Glad you avoided getting a back shot of this. Very nice. Your Hololive merch, part 2 of my merch buys from Sacanime 2020. 2 Hololive prints, some stickers, and a marine keychain and Takodachi patch. So, I'm a time traveler. Where's Gilbert? Soft Senpai Club. All right, that's the Mesh Carolite from Fate. Okay, I don't know what that is. You know I'm not a Fatesman. Of course, that's the infamous Watame. Actually, that plushie and then this Watame print is the one from the cursed Tav Instax. So every year there's a cursed Tav Instax somehow. Every year I've gone with Tav, there was that infamous cursed Tav Instax, and then there's also the one that had Tav Soul that I gave to Kisaragi, who won. Actually, he won that Tav's cursed Soul Instax in a Briggy match game, I think. Tav, confirm that if you want. And of course, more Watami prints, some stickers from which I saw, more stickers, same from the same one that I got the Kiara one, and of course, okay. Here's the thing. So I told my wife she likes Ina, but she's a bigger Gura fan. But as soon as I told my wife that there was a Takodachi patch, she like again as the kids say, neuron activated. Just like I need you. There's always to have dissociating. He's got the whole he's got DID, so he's got a whole system. Taco time. Yes, my wife wanted one of these. She so day three when I went back, I told her I said if I find a taco patch, I will get it. But if I can't, I'll get you something small. So I got her a Gura keychain from the same place that was selling these because they didn't have them. They ran out. He ran out. They only had the Kiara Phoenix and the Def Senpai patches. So she missed out. Tav got lucky. Now when Tav comes over to my house, he's gonna flex on my wife, which means I have to sleep in my own bed. So, right on. Before I get to that, so merch buys. Tav got this cool High V Gundam. He's more of a Gundamsman. He's a Gunpla guy, so that's out of my jurisdiction. And then of course cosplay. Day one. Day 2 and 3 coming. So here's day 1. I don't know who this is. Tab, can you tell me what this cosplay is of? Please. Also, 5 days ago, damn. I gotta see how many people like this. Let's see. Nope, wrong one. There we go. There you go, Saber. How's that for neuron activation? I forgot Here's the thing I overlooked, Saber. I'm sorry about this. But there was plenty of Star Wars cosplay. Heads up. There was 100% a lot of Star Wars cosplay, a lot of Mandalorians. And of course, these clone troopers. So, how's that for neuron activation there, pal? Also, Naruto in the background here. Just a casual. First one is Kobeni from Chainsaw Man. She's a nervous wreck. She doesn't seem so nervous. But this also nice clone commando. Yes. What about this? But what about this Naruto behind him? So, or this Gaara in front of that Naruto. So, also everyone's favorite grandpa Dante from Devil May Cry. Like that a great deal. Of course, at a convention, you got to make sure this gun is 100% prop, so got to have the little orange nub at the end. And also, there's obviously not even a barrel hole, so that's good. This guy's following rules. Don't know who this is. Tav, you're going to have to help me. I wish I recognized who this was. I'm sorry. Again, this is, okay. In retrospect, I wish Tav were here to doing this stream with me, because then we could properly talk about it. But he didn't make it in. That Naruto is just pixels on my screen. Damn. I'm moving on, but Tad, you can tell me who this is. Later. That is Texas from Arknights. Okay, thank you. Faust, literally the same Faust. I think we took the same photo of the same pose, but his is from a different angle, so I'm off to the side here because mine's more from a forward angle. So I complimented this guy on the fact that he put black fabric over the eye to darken it. So cool. Of course, Neko Arc. Come on, how can you go to a convention and see a Neko Arc cosplay and not say oh? So. I only watch streams in 144p. Thank you. Like it should be. This is from Devil May Cry as well, right? That's is that also from Devil May Cry? Tab? I don't know. I don't follow a lot of anime. I follow some anime, but not all of it, unfortunately. Of course, Atelier Ryza. There's a few of these girls, and also some looks like prison school cosplay back here. So. So yeah, I saw a few of these gals cosplaying as this. So, but yeah, this one I don't know who this is. So Tab, it looks like from Devil May Cry. That's narrow. Okay, so that is from Devil May Cry. But yeah, so this was cool. And then, of course, from Persona 4, from the game I will never finish. Bro, that's Amber from Genshin Impact. Huh? I'll get you. I don't know who this is. You know I don't know anything. I'll get you though. You can't believe you let me get clowned on myself like that. I'll get you down. Who's Genshin? Who's trying to impact her? I'll get you. I'll get all of you. I'll get you all. A lifetime supply of ass kickings. Ugh. Anyways, she looks like the girl from from Tales of Arise. Okay, give me a break. Anyways, Persona 4 game I will never finish. I'm sure Tav when he like Tav said Tav considers her best girl. I say yeah, she's pretty good. I'm a Kiki Girl fan, so I like Beef Girl, but she's pretty cool. I remember fighting her in the game. That was fun. Gura, of course, another shot at the Gura. Let's see. Oh! What are you gonna do? Bring out your antique bear traps? Oh, do much more than that, mate. Yeah, try going outside with all these antique bear traps everywhere. Yo, that's Mrs. Mealboy. Okay. Taff, please. Do you really want to talk to yourself like that? Also, it's the man behind the slaughter. Damn, it's the man behind. Speaking of cosplays. Speaking of Five Nights at Freddy's cosplay, it's everyone's favorite man, the man behind the slaughter. What happened to my son? It's the man behind the slaughter. You know, I knew Living Tombstone, not personally, but I knew of him and was familiar with his music during his Brownie days. So to know that he did a song based off of this. Also, shout out to everybody. He's real and purple and pixelated. Also, shout out to anybody who was smart and wore Crocs to this convention. You guys are the real heroes. Because you knew if you were walking around, you needed to be comfy. Moving on. Tav, help me. Is this from Genshin? Tav, is this another Genshin character? Because I don't know. I feel like it's a Genshin. There's going to be another Genshin. This is going to be another impacting of the Genshins. Man, I wish I knew what anime was. I only know cartoons. I don't know what anime is. I don't know what games are. All right, I think Tav fell asleep, so we're moving on. Tav, you can if you know who if you can tell me who that is, I'll read that out loud. But moving on. Oh, that's from Blend S. That is Muleboy Jr. Yes, she's Klee from Genshin. All right, there you go. Impact her? I barely know her. Thank you, Saber. Blend S, I know what this is. Also, strong like third wheel energy right here. I love the strong third wheel energy. I like it a great deal. Looks familiar. Tav, tell me who this is, please. So, yeah. Well, okay, Tab. Well, you look for who. Well, you tell me who this is, and moving on. Also, I think that's here in the background. I know this looks like pixelated much to Saber, but I think that's an Envy cosplayer from Full Metal Alchemist. Also, Full Metal Alchemist still around. Good job. I'm glad you guys are still cosplaying that. Nico Yazawa from Love Live. Thank you. And of course, Terumo's favorite boy, Happy Chaos. It was like 50 degrees out when Tav took that picture. So, you're welcome. Shout out to this guy. Also, Joe, who was with us, asked, hey, you think that's a bodysuit? Like he's got a blue bodysuit and face paint, and I can confirm just by looking at this. One, that is all his muscles. Two, that's body paint. So shout out to this guy, true trooper. HG with the slides. Yeah. Yes. Actually, yes, you're right. Actually. Oh boy. That that makes me. I'm glad you pointed that out. So I think that's it. Oh yeah, from an earlier decade. Here I'm gonna review your. Actually, while we're here, let's review from 2019, last from 2 years ago. More blend S. Ought to be ashamed of yourself, Mike. I remember these now. Yeah, I remember these. Wow! Chrono! Sorry. Oh! We did see a Tijanos at the convention though, so. What the hell is this? This guy is finished. Makoto, the first Mrs. Meal Boy. I'll get you. Also, Calliope Mori's main. Now, can you explain what this is? Now I'm just reviewing your Instagram here. I'm gonna 9 others. There you go. On July 6th, 2018, Tab tried to kill the sun. May 22nd, 2018. Hey, that's my birthday. You saw this toad. Man, your Instagram's pretty whack, dude. It's a pretty whack ass Instagram. Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, wait, I know this because I gave you this album. My son the nut. Enough of that, dude. All right, so follow Tab if you want some good lols. Anyways. Okay, so I think that's about it, guys. We've I didn't think I'd be able to get like 2.5 hours out of this stream, out of this topic, but well, we were there. I mean, I don't know what else to bring up, but had a pretty interesting time about shooting 16 millimeter. Glad I did it. I hope it comes out well. Hopefully, I'll learn how to shoot better next time. I think moving forward, I can't read this. I can't even stalk him, so I can't even stalk him. Um, I'll post a link in the Discord, Saber. You can stalk him there. Um, you can stalk him and comment horrible things there. But I think I won't. I don't think I'll be able to go for the summer one this year because I might have some other priorities for that. But I think for sure my plan is to go next year in the winter. But some final thoughts. Let me just add that. Hold on. Let's see. I came for to leave the state yet, so I probably won't make it out there for a while. It's all right. We'll wait. When you get out here, Saber, we'll enjoy another time. But until then, maybe you can try to live. You can try to live through our. Um, you can try to live through us, like our experiences. You you can live. You can live through us by proxy. Like hopefully, living through us by proxy will hopefully suffice. Um, I'm actually really excited to know that like some like that that dude that Angel Dust cosplayer who chimed in earlier will be wants to use my footage for his blog, so that's exciting actually. All right, okay. Every day I wake up. All right, all right. So final thoughts. So I had a lot of fun. Obviously, I think the main thing about like the main experience I'm gonna have remembering this is like the fact that like it's interesting to go to a con during a pandemic because I know look there were sanitizing stations, there were everybody was masked up, thankfully. There were precautions and stuff to be put in place for like making if you're coming to this thing, we want to make sure that you're at least COVID free. Oh, it's the C word, whatever. You're at least COVID free, and B, uh, well, A, you're vaccinated. B, you're COVID free. So that's the main thing. Um, but like I said, I do think the biggest benefit. I think going forward, I think it's a smart idea just to go to a convention with a mask. Like I know when Kisarolo was with us for when Saber came to visit back in 2018. The main thing was everybody like like he was smart to like have that mask on, as seen in Tav's Sacanime video. But I think yeah, I think moving forward, I think it's a smart move just to go just to go with a mask on. I think like even if like there aren't any like even there if there isn't like some like virus going around, I think the real virus is the fact that like there's gonna that people could show up sick and not know it with something else. So I think going in with like a mask to avoid con plague is I think a smart idea. Also, I think it's weird how like with other cosplayers I follow on Instagram and whatnot on other social medias when I've seen them pop like post videos or photos or share photos of themselves that other people took at like other conventions, it's interesting to see them not have a mask on for the photos that they took. And I think one cosplayer was taking photos without a mask, but it was outside, and I think they were pretty separated from other people. I know one choice was to have like those transparent, those clear plastic masks around their face, so that was interesting to see. I think one Bowsette cosplayer asked me if I wanted her to keep her mask on while I took film of her, or if she wanted it off, or if I wanted it off. I said you can keep it on. It's fine because most of the people I've recorded have a mask on. I think having footage and like pictures of like people masked up while they cosplay. I think not having the mask on, although it goes with the cosplay, I think is a smarter move. I think it also shows that I think it's also a time capsule. It'll be a time capsule for when these things were taking place. Like yeah, like I'm not bothered by the fact that people were masked up for this and it ruined the cosplay because I think some people also did a good job of incorporating, as you seen by the pictures of incorporating like masks into their cosplay. Like, um, hopefully when that footage comes back, you'll be able to see more of that. So, but yeah, it's interesting to go during that time. Like, hopefully everyone got home safe and sound and nobody caught anything that even like COVID or not. So, but yeah, so it's I had a good time. I can't wait to go next year. Like I said, I'm gonna start making plans for going to the winter next year. Next year for sure. I think I'm gonna not bring my Instax. I think I'm gonna actually invest some money and bring in a Polaroid next year. How's that for future stuff? I'm gonna bring this bad boy next year. I thought about doing it this year, but I had some I need more practice of shooting with Polaroid film. It develops way slower than Fuji Instax, so I need some practice to get the correct lighting. At the very least, shoot outside. Um, Also for next year, I'm strongly considering not only shooting 16 millimeter but getting some 8 millimeter stuff. So I'm gonna get some 16 millimeter film, which is cheaper. I can develop it at home if it's in black and white, and also it's kind of cheaper to develop too. And I think it's a lot faster. So I'll definitely get some newer film stock to make sure I can shoot inside as well as outside. So, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this week for this stream. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna try to stream next week again. Obviously, we're gonna go back into our normal schedule stuff. Um, Next week, I've been teasing this. I teased this last year at the end of last year when I did my final stream. But I'm definitely gonna go into a full on. If I get my film back by next week or by next Friday, I might do a little preview and have everything set up to do a live projection stream of the footage I shot at Sacanime. So that'll be exciting to witness. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm sorry, but I do plan on doing a footage review stream for the stuff that will happen. But I'm also gonna make a full on edited video for what happened for that stuff. So I'll do a commentary stream that'll be like kind of a home movie like old fashioned home movie stream, um, like that people would do, like review like people would do like when they would shoot their home movies, obviously. But also, but if that doesn't happen, probably the next stream will be my camera showcase stream. It's a lot of cameras to talk about, so keep an eye out for that. So, but until then, just thank you to everybody who showed up, everybody and anybody that showed up. Hopefully, this was entertaining to listen to. Hopefully, even the part where I talked about boring camera stuff is interesting to you. Um, I might start doing more face cam stuff because I feel like having this thing in the corner where you can see my voice is fine, but I feel like maybe I should go ahead and start putting my mug on screen. So at least it creates more visual interest aside from this. So anyways, like I said, that's gonna do it for tonight and for today. So I'll see you when I'll see you. So I guess I'll see you. See you later.